Welcome to the show. That's Joey right there, everybody. Welcome.
Shout out Joey.
Welcome to the third annual NFL Charity Draft Party brought to you by 440 Sports, Thinkers Beverages, and of course Shotgun Willie's Barbecue. The food is here, right around the corner here. We got a full house, sold out tickets. So thank all of you guys for being here. It's spectacular. This is JT, that's Stoney. I am Braden Gall, and it's super fun to be here. The Titans are not officially on the clock yet, but they will be very shortly. And we've already eaten lots of beans. Tony's had lots of beans. We've had some brisket, some sandwiches. We got some brown water boys. What are you guys thinking over there?
Gin boys tonight.
The Hot Read podcast are gin and tonic boys tonight.
Cheers.
Gin and tonic boys.
We'll see how far we get.
Sorry about that. Yep. All right, I'm drinking some Horse Soldier straight. That's right. That's the only way to drink Horse Soldier. So.
Can I ask a question before we get into this? And maybe the chat can tell us, because we were setting up. Why was Roger Goodell riding a bike?
What was Quentin Nelson doing?
What was Quentin Nelson doing on a unicycle? That's what I want to know as well. I have no idea.
He's a very agile man.
Well, why? What is the? You're the Green Bay man. What's the fascination with bikes?
Okay, so it goes back a ways, but you ride the kids who are going to training camp every year. The players, the practice field used to be farther away from the stadium.
So it has a meaning.
It very much has a meaning. And so what happens is when you're in training camp as a player, what you do is you let a kid you borrow a kid's bike to get from the practice facility back to, and it's like an honor for a 10-year-old to be like, oh, Brett Favre rode my bike from the practice facility. Then you carry his helmet, you jog along next to him, and so it's very much about the kids in Green Bay getting to be at the training camp and the thing. So you made fun of Roger Goodell, and actually what you're doing is making fun of him.
Well, you know me.
Sometimes kids deserve it.
No question about that.
Derek in the question in the comments is asking the question: are we getting bonkered off that yoinky tonight?
Are you getting yonkered off that boinky?
Well, he said yonkered off that boinky.
Listen, I've got a ride. I'm not driving tonight. It's a momentous occasion. Tennessee Titans fans have a little bit of hope once again. So why not celebrate? Why not get bonkered off that yoinky?
Derek says my audio is a little messed up. Let's see if we can figure that out over the course of the show. Maybe if I drink some more, we'll figure it out. Look, the Titans are on the clock. The clock has officially started ticking. We are 1.5 minutes away from Cam Ward being selected as the Tennessee Titans starting quarterback and anointed Savior by Jesus Christ and Lord Savior God Himself said on Sunday as He is risen. Cam Ward is now the starting quarterback, or going to be the starting quarterback for Tennessee Titans.
How long do you think Mike makes us wait? You think they used the entire time?
Look, I think I know they told us on Tuesday they weren't going to listen to any offers, and there was consensus, which is clearly messaging around the last 2 years of who has final say. So let's see.
I think somebody should ask Brian Callahan in the presser, will they do the Cam Ward introductory thing tonight, or it's just a Zoom call for that? Somebody should ask Cam Ward who's wearing the green button.
Oh, such a great joke.
So here's the thing, right? I think Brian Callahan has a press conference as well. Yeah. And that man definitely does not want to be there tonight talking about Cam Ward afterwards, because we've all known, right? That's where you need to do it. That's where you catch him off guard. And the first question is, Brian, who's going to be wearing the green dot for you this year? At Cam Ward's introductory press conference.
Who asks the question?
I'm gonna text Easton. I'm gonna text Easton to go do it.
Yeah. All right. So first of all, I want to say thank you to everybody who bought tickets and everybody who showed up. I want to say thank you guys for getting here and for being here. We still have a couple of tickets left for Saturday evening. So if you want to come hang out, we're gonna have a private Q&A with a bunch of Titans reporters. These two beautiful cats are gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. Shotgun Willie's Barbecue is gonna be there. All you can drink, as well as a beautiful 5-flight bourbon tasting as well. So we got lots of stuff coming on Saturday. Tickets are still available. There'll be a link to the show notes. You can check that out. We're sold out tonight, third straight year. Awesome job by all of you guys out there. It's so much fun to have you guys here. Two of you, thank you for being here. Make sure you check out the Hot Read podcast the rest of the night. And if you're listening tomorrow, make sure you listen to their full first round coverage from Stoney and JT. Going to be a lot of fun tonight. And obviously, every penny of this goes to the Our Kids Foundation here in Tennessee, which looks out for kids and takes care of young kids. So I can't think of a better cause. This is not the show to discuss the strengths and weaknesses of Cam Ward necessarily. Okay. We have many months and many practices and many like, oh, look at that one throw he missed. Van Jefferson man was slow on a post route or something. I don't need to do that, but just in general, I'll do the Homer State Run Radio thing. Say, how excited should we be? You're a diehard Titans fan, waiting for the first ever number 1 overall pick in franchise history, not counting the Oilers, and a quarterback at number 1 at that. And clearly, I think whether you like him or not, have some problems with some of his game or love him unequivocally, he is the best quarterback in the draft, and it is a position that seems to be important in football, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Titans fans are very excited because, like you said, you hope that you're only up here once, and you hope when you have a quarterback like this that has been played up in some circles to be the potential franchise guy. It's exciting. However, I do think that it's going to be another honeymoon period that we are in. Just like the same with Brian Callahan, there was a breath of fresh air with the new coaching scheme. Everything's going to be hunky-dory until training camp. I think Titans fans are it's exciting. However, yes, the shoe will always drop, and we can talk about what Cam Ward will be at the NFL level. I think that he does have the tools to be a really good NFL quarterback. I especially think heard over the entirety of this cycle as on the ESPN feed, we are looking at Brian, Mike, and Chad supposedly
by the way,
calling Cam.
A lot of Shedeur Sanders footage there, right? Because they need to pump the Shedeur Sanders. Yes. They need the content.
The one question: I see Ziegler, I see Brinker, I see Borgonzi. Where's Reggie McKinstry? They put him in the back. McKenzie, whatever. Sorry.
Let me ask you this. So somebody in the chat says Josh has, and I trust Josh in general. Josh says Schefter said the Titans turned down a package that included 2 first-round picks.
Yes.
Now that could easily be the Titans leaking to Schefter that this wasn't enough. It could have been somebody else pissed off that they didn't get to move up. Forget all of the gossip of where it came from or how it got there. If somebody offered you 2 first-round picks, are you moving up? Or are you moving back to the Titans?
At this point, no. They've done something and it's just because I think this coaching staff, from what I've heard, has just become more and more enamored with the player. That there is things that they believe that this is going to work, and I think that's invaluable. And especially with Mike Borgonzi now leading the ship and where he comes from, if he has the confidence that he says, when we're looking for a quarterback in the build, like he said in his opening press conference, with all of those in those traits and all of those things, and I think they believe that he does have those traits. I think Callahan and his staff are enamored with him. They think that this can work. I think Brian Callahan also had some very good answers to talking about the ability to coach a player into what they need to be at the next level in terms of quarterback without taking away those things that make Cam Ward great. I think that was the nail in the coffin for me. That's the potential that you're getting with Cam Ward.
I sure hope that they think all of that stuff if they're taking him number 1. Stoney, 2 first-round picks.
So I've been team trade back pretty consistently throughout the entire process. To turn down an extra first-round pick, because I'm presuming that 2 first-round picks includes like a pick swap for this year and next year's first.
And I would assume a second or third.
I still like acquiring the draft capital. Based on my evaluation, I don't think the difference between Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders is all that great to warrant passing up on draft capital. But what I acknowledge is what JT just mentioned, a massive hole in my evaluations. I don't have access to the players. I don't get to talk to these guys. I'm just basing it off of tape and data. So I'm willing to acknowledge that this regime, this staff, has gone through the interview process, several touch points with Cam Ward, where they've checked those boxes. They believe this guy has the mental makeup to improve upon the things that he needs to improve upon, and he can be the franchise guy. And I think ultimately, if they feel he can be that, it is an incredibly valuable asset to build a team around. And that's probably where I'm assuming their head's at.
And there it is.
Okay with it then.
Here we go. We'll wait for the other room. Oh, I know.
We'll see. Tennessee Titans select
crowd goes
I sure hope everybody heard that.
Goes wild.
That was. I don't know if that was louder than the anti-Levis cheer that happened here, Stoney.
I think that was loud.
I think that was louder. We were here at the track one building, by the way, the home of Secret Beverages, the HQ. We were here 2 years ago, and what was fascinating was everyone was so excited that it was not Will Levis, that it was Peter Skoronsky. They went crazy. I think this one was louder.
I think it was. Yeah.
We already have a trade with the second pick,
and there it is. Oh my God,
the Jags.
There it is.
Yeah. Well, so you guys are going to be all over the first round covering that. Let's stick with.
Wow.
Let's.
There we go.
So again,
Travis Hunter to the Jags. Get ready, AFC South.
I don't know what else we need to truly say about Cam Ward specifically because we have so much time to break down what he does well, what he doesn't do well, what people need. Like what Coach Callahan and what the group is going to have to get him to do and develop on, and there's a lot of stuff there. I think most importantly, and this is what I try to teach my 8-year-old, be intentional with all of your movements and all the things that you do. And Cam Ward has to be intentional with his footwork. He's going to have to be intentional with his arm slot. He's going to have to be intentional with how he carries the football, with how he breaks the pocket, with how he drifts. He's going to have to be intentional with all that stuff. And if he figures all that out, he's got all the other stuff. He's got the compete. He's got the arm. He's got the sort of leadership qualities you want. Here's the way I think I might have been. I'm Team Trade Back as well, but I'm excited about Cam Ward.
Yeah,
I think the way you need to look at this is with excitement and skepticism at the same time.
Sure.
I think it is important to be excited about this, and it's important to look at him as a potential player that could change the franchise. But statistically, those guys don't get taken number one very often. There are flaws in his game. There's going to have to be work here. He's going to turn the ball over in year number one. It's going to happen. You're going to have to coach that out of him. I think they've got some pieces in place to do that. Hopefully the offensive line is better for the first time ever.
Yeah.
But I think it's okay to be super excited, but also give yourself just a little bit of like, let's see what happens, man. Like, don't just take this and turn it into like, the Savior himself is ascended in from heaven down to the Tennessee Titans. I just think that's a little out of control and not fair to him, frankly.
If I can answer your first question about should Titans fans be excited about this pick,
it sounds dumb when you ask it like that.
I would say
that's like a dumb question by me.
I would say tonight is the night to be excited about this pick. You look back to last year, down the stretch, how many games did we watch and say, man, if they just had better quarterback play, they might have been in this one. It might have elevated the entire team. It was a rough stretch. It was a rough season. The team won 3 games, and now here comes the hope of a quarterback that can begin to turn these things around. So you hope as a Titans fan that you've made it through the rock bottom of this rebuild. We're not going to have football for another, 5 months? Just enjoy it tonight. Enjoy that hope. Lean into it. Hope that you found your franchise guy, and we'll worry about the rest.
Let's have fun. Let's drink
during the summer.
When's minicamp, rookie minicamp? Like next week, right? Or 2 weeks?
May 12th.
May 12th. There you go. So right around the corner, we're going to get those quick little videos of Cam Ward throwing passes all over the place.
Yeah.
Off platform and Vince's body. He does roll left a lot, and he's very good on the run to that side of the field. Look, he's very talented. The risk was worth it. That's how I feel about it. There's lots of risk, but it was worth it. Let's see what happens.
It's the same thing. I'm never going to fault a regime for trying to take the swing on it because it is the most important position.
Yeah.
It's the best value available on the board there for the Titans. When you're one and you can have any player at any position. What's the most important position in football? The quarterback. I'm not going to fault them for trying to take that swing. And Cam Ward has some of those intangibles that make him really great. I see what you're looking at. The Jags fully overpay for Travis Hunter.
I wasn't trying to cut you off.
No, you're good.
But
it's ridiculous.
The Browns are getting, by moving from 2 to 5, correct? The Browns are getting a first-round pick next year, a second and a fourth this year, and then they swap first. They did give up a fourth and a sixth, I think, next year. If you're a Titans fan, you move back to 5. Do you want that deal? First next year, a second this year, move back to 5 and still get.
I mean, I probably would have done it. Get the draft picks.
Would have too.
I think they're fine with where they were. Like,
yeah,
I'm just looking at it.
They're totally bought in on Cam Ward, which is fine.
Yeah, they're like it's the honeymoon phase when you're like 3 months into a relationship. That's where they are right now.
All right.
So they're gonna see.
You want to you got some fancy Cam Ward video stuff here for folks?
Yeah, we can look at it real quick, and this is like what you can see. So you're gonna do that, and then you're gonna press Shift 8 together. This is what you can expect. We have. Well,
see, there you go.
Yeah, if you know how to do it, you just press
told
play.
Me Shift 8.
And press play.
There we go. Black screen there, JT. See? It wasn't user error. It wasn't user error.
It'll work on mine. It'll work on the next one. But yeah, I mean, you talk about all the things that you do well, especially if you want a game to go look at Cam Ward to get you excited. Go look at the first half of the Pop-Tart Bowl. Yes. Like there is some really, really good tape.
In the next game of the exhibition game?
Yeah.
Okay. How did he play in the second half?
Well, it certainly seems like
no turnovers in the second.
Yeah, it certainly seems like the Titans did not care about that.
I think you go watch the series. Just ignore Mario Cristobal's decision making. The head coach of Miami, just ignore that nonsense because he's terrible. But go watch the Syracuse game. He and Kyle McClure went back and forth. He was great against some stinks against Cal. That's a really good game.
Come back game.
Sports Duke. If you want to go watch some stuff after as well. So go enjoy it. All right, what else? Real quickly here, because you guys are going to be on the rest of the night. So everybody make sure you're checking out the Hot Read podcast, social media, and of course YouTube. Check all that out. Where do you want to, based on Tyler Lockett, the signing last night, where would you want to? Is this? Are they clearly targeting an edge rusher at 35? Do they want to trade back and maybe still add more capital? Where are you guys at on the second pick? Around Cam Ward.
I'm guessing they're still going to want to trade back and acquire more picks. I don't really think. Listen, the Tyler Lockett signing is a nice signing. I think he's a good addition to the receiving corps. Kind of alleviates the need to go wide receiver heavy in the draft, but I don't think that you have to. There is the pick being announced. It just hushed all over the room.
Power through, Stoney.
Yeah, sorry.
Like a nice Miles Frazier zone blocking scheme.
Well, I'm just making sure they're not playing the national anthem, and I'm talking to them. I don't even remember what I was saying right now.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Cool. We're just off the rails.
JT and Stoney, man, listen to these guys all night tonight. They're going to be here. Special thanks to everyone who showed up. And tickets are still available, not many, but for Saturday night, come and hang out. All the money goes to our kids. So thanks to our kids foundation for being a part of this. Thanks to Chocolate Barbecue for kids tonight and of course Saturday evening. And Sinkers Beverages for doing this third year in a row. 4-time award-winning liquor store of the year. Fantastic group of guys. We got the Horse Soldier here. We got Gin and Tonics over here at this lovely headquarters here at Houston. They're fantastic at what they do. So thank you guys, both of you, for being here and hanging out. They're going to jump back on to their show, and we're going to tune into their show coming up in just a second. So other than that, I think we're good here. Congratulations. The Titans did the thing that everyone thought they were going to do for like 4 months or 4 weeks straight.
Here we are.
So now I can't wait for May 12th when minicamp shows up and we can watch Cam Ward play football. There we go. For Stoney and JT, for Sinkers and Shotgun Willie's Barbecue, I'm Braden Gall. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging out. Tune into the Hot Read podcast coming up next right here on 4.